you have your child or your pet that you love them so much no matter what. What if you can feel the same love to yourself? And this month is Thanksgiving, and this, and also my child, um, his birthday is this month, and I was just thinking about that so much, about how much I love him so much, and I was snug with my dog, um, and I just love him so much too, and I felt that way for myself, and it's crazy. I read this book that I want to share part of the book. You can see that you can feel that love for yourself. Um, Welcome back to Discover Inner You, and if you're new, I'm Emily, and I'm a stroke and brain injury recovery coach, and I had a stroke, a massive stroke, about 25 years ago, and I just want to share tips that you learn to relearn some things, and recovering, love yourself again. So, especially Thanksgiving, and so this book it's Wednesday, so reading on Wednesday, and this book is uh, Love Life, and it says, how do you raise your standards? Find your person and love happily, no matter what. And by Matthew Hussey, and he's a great person. He recently got married, and he's English, so he has an accent, but I can't do that. I can't read out loud with his accent, but so I want to read a lot. So I'm trying to edit what I want to say, what relating to self-love. And so I'm going to start. It's in chapter 15, core confidence, and it says starting over with self-love. And I'm gonna, some parts of the book, some of this chapter. So, page 197, and it says, loving ourselves is proactive here. In this rebrand, we have to start seeing the word loving in this phrase in interchangeable with taking care of, investing in, encouraging, nurturing, and standing up for. Self-love is a verb. If you are tossing out the romantic model, we need a new one to replace it. To make it easy, let's start with one we already understand: the parent-child relationship. Remember the question that tripped up so many audiences. Why should we love yourself? Let's start with this context of the parent-child relationship. Imagine asking a parent, why do you love your child? I actually asked parents like this, and I can't remember even getting in a reply of list of qualities that make a child a great person. They rarely say, because she's smart, loving, funny, beautiful, and gets A's in school. They rarely say, as if the kid were in the running of Child of the Month. Some might, most don't, because that's not what their love is based on. They might say those things when I ask them why they're proud of their child, but not in answer to why they love them. And their love wasn't really based on loving the kid either. There may well be days where the child is hard to love, but you love them, but you still love them. So what answer do they give when asked why they love their child? Usually, because they're my child. The tone of the response makes it clear that it's a silly question. That was a huge clue when I started looking for the roots of core confidence. These relationships, like a child or brother or sister, don't rely on the person doing something, doing anything at all. They don't require them to be good or to have done their best. These things may be hoped for, and they may certainly help the relationship, but ask of loving parent of on their child's worst day, they still love them and they'll scoff at the question. This was an exhilarating realization. It felt like the essence of self-love, and I started looking for it everywhere. Listen to the way a child sounds about his stuffed rabbit. My rabbit. I dare you to tell little Eddie that you have a better looking, newer, more expensive version of Luigi, the stuffed rabbit, have been dragging around with him wherever he goes. Luigi may be missing an eye, have dirt stains all over, and been oozing fluff from every seam. But Eddie and Luigi can't be parted. Why? Because this wasn't just a rabbit. This is Eddie's rabbit. It has nothing to do with what the rabbit had to offer, and everything to do with what Eddie has decided Luigi is to him. Luigi is Eddie's rabbit. You don't even need a child for this test. On your next outdoor walk, look for this scraggly, crazy-looking dog with 3 hairs sticking out of his head and its tongue permanently laying down to the left, and try offering the fully grown adult holding the leash the opportunity to exchange their furry animal for a fluffier, more stately dog. We all instinctively know how that would go. That's because the fundamental reason, because the love in all these relationships is the same. I love them because they're mine. And this realization turned loving myself with all my flaws and shame, my regrets, and my self-resentment, all the fluff that's coming out of my seam from all impossible ideal into something I knew exactly how to do. Here's the core truth. There are 8 billion people on this earth. You're one of them. That doesn't mean make it as important that you take care of yourself as well as you take care of anybody else. It makes it more important because of all those 1 billion, there is only one you've always been responsible for. Imagine someone asking you why you love yourself, and you shaking your head just like the parent who says, because that's my kid. It has something to do with how great you are. No traits, attributes, or achievements are necessary, because I'm my person, you say, as if you're completely obvious, because when you think about it, it is. How would you treat yourself if you realize I'm the person who belongs to me? At birth, you were given by nature or God or whatever you believe, one person to take care of for the rest of your life. At first, you weren't able to fulfill the role because, which is why someone else had to start the task of raising you. They may or may not have done it well, but back then, keeping you alive was someone else's job. They were there to be their guardian until you reached the stage where you figured out the person who ultimately has custody of you. Most of us have never thought about this way. We may have felt a sense of responsibility to someone else, a child, a sick relative, or a sibling, but never for yourself. Once you become as adults, we looked elsewhere for care we got or hoped we'd get, to a parent figure or mentor, a romantic partner, a close group of friends. Many of us are still searching for someone to take care of the role of protecting and taking care of us. We want these people to verify that we are good enough, smart enough, desirable enough, and worthy of love. While it's true that building a community adult life is essential for our well-being, this is more like an abduction of responsibility. It's like going through life, going to hand off for the job you're supposed to do for someone else. And the job description is simple. You actively love and nurture ourselves. In many ways, we may not be the best of this or that, but none of that matters. What matters is our one job, parenting the one individual in 8 billion who is ours. Comparison with other people is utterly pointless when we look at life like this. You can't exchange ourselves for someone else. To only get this one, and our job is to give this creature, ourselves, the best life we can. I don't know you, what you've gone through in your life, who hurt you, who regrets haunt you, what private or public shame plagues you, what your weaknesses are. I also don't know your strengths are, or what makes you an exceptional human being. But I don't need to know what's great about you. That's the point. I only know that you'll better love yourself every day with all your might, because no one else has time to. For years, I have treated myself badly, never feeling like I'm doing enough, working enough to the bone, being nasty to myself when I fall short, or rarely give myself grace. I used to think that was me, my nature, but these days, in the moments I'm facing burnout, when I'm exhausted from having beaten myself up for a mistake I made, as I do that often, showing myself not an ounce of compassion, and think of myself, and I think to myself, I had one job. You had one job. Where have you been? Loving ourselves is more than a feeling. It's an approach. It's doing hard things for yourself and showing for yourself out of a sense of duty and responsibility. You have to start looking for yourself. We have to stop looking for self-love's short-term rewards. Core confidence is a long-term investment. When a parent invests in a child for 18 years, many of the fruits of this investment, the majority of them, in fact, will come later. As a child becomes adult, they find fresh appreciation for the many things the parent did for them, and the relationship grows richer and sweeter with each realization. It's never too late. Raising ourselves is a similar long-term project that can begin in any age. You may find yourselves raising an awkward teenager at 60, but as with any teenager, don't expect that love to come back to you right away. The rewards take time, but they will be real. Having a high opinion of ourselves isn't necessary for this kind of self-love, and it might just get in the way, actually. But it is possible to develop an affection toward ourselves, one born of empathy and compassion. The starting point for this empathy and compassion is self-forgiveness is the past. And then we're talking about self-forgiveness, but I'm going to stop reading, but yeah, so so good. I really love that he said, we only get this job. Our job is to give this creature, with ourselves, the best life we can. And well, when I was a kid, a lot of people say to me, like, since because of a heart condition, they're saying that you're a miracle, and I'm a miracle baby, and I'm grateful for what they're saying that. But inside of me, I thought, so I'm supposed to be dead? And so but my feeling, I should just have to please people, because if I wasn't be alive, it'll affect their lives if I'm acting not good and treating them not good, or being bossy, or being being just a kid. So when that I was always trying to please people, and then when I was an adult, after a stroke, I thought, okay, I need to survive, and just survive, and trying to blend in and try what they're supposed to do as a mom, or as a family member or as a church member, what they're supposed to do. And but inside of me, it just doesn't feel right. I don't know. And I thought, seriously, I thought my life would be really short because I have a heart condition. I was born with it. I had open heart surgery when I was a baby, and I had it when I was 12, and so, and then the stroke when I was 18. So when I turned 40, I realized I'm alive still. So I decided I want doing something more, that besides survival mode. And then when I was learning about coaching, life coaching, and I went to a trauma-informed coaching, and I learned, one of the teachers said about the chakra, and I thought it was kind of cheesy, and it's too like woo-woo, but I listened to it about the root, and that's the bottom, and then go up to the eye, and we started to do each level, and she started talking about the root, and she said we always had the right for each level, and she said you have the right to exist. And I was 42 then, and I just like I cried. I realized like my life, I have the choice. I can choose what I want because I have the right. I have the right that I'm alive. And it was just eye-opening then. And then I like to read a lot of things, and this book was about, dating and get your person, but I just want to read about self-love, and it just so confirmed that I'm the only person that will take care of me 100%, and raising myself 100% is me, and choosing what I want, and then when I was just thinking about my son, and that I love him so much, and my dog, and snuggling with him, and I just like, I realized I was loving so much, and I felt that love for myself, and after that, I realized from this book like a month ago, and I'm so grateful that I can remember that book, that, like you're the only person that, there's family that's great, and my coach said, it's so amazing. Her husband, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, her husband has the issue, and he was trying to overcome that, and her husband, she was trying to give love and support and give that enough for him, but the only way that he can really feel it is yourself. And it reminds me of my dad. He gave me so much love, and my family, they just give me so much love, and I thought it was enough, and I realized like I couldn't feel that love for myself like fully, and it just, over time, I do love myself, in not bragging or anything, but I do love myself, and I just want to share that you can feel that too. I love you, and you gotta feel inside of you. You gotta feel that love for yourself to really feel it, and knowing that you are enough, and you don't need any achievement or anything to show it. You don't need to show anything. It's just knowing that you are enough and you are worthy for yourself, knowing that you're okay. That I want to feel love for yourself, and it feels so amazing that there's nothing to show it. You just feel it, that you are good enough and you are great. And because I feel that for myself. Some days I feel the best days, and I feel like sometimes I don't feel that I'm smart enough, or like he said, but I'm gonna take care of myself. And at least I do walks, and I do lift weights for myself, not for anybody. And it's just to keep my body well, and try to live as long as I can for my son and my dog, for myself, especially for myself. So just want to share that, and just remember, you matter, you got this. So keep moving forward one step at a time.